here we are, dominating now. What's happening here is I'm sharing my mind map with you. And once you realize the map is not the territory, you'll automatically create a new narrative for yourself. This will allow you craft a new path and tell a different story because you now understand the most important variables in life and how to navigate life's waters. So let's play. Part 2, we'll be talking about the dark side of purpose. So my question is, are you afraid of the dark? Why are we afraid of the dark? You know, sometimes when it's dark outside, in the particular lights, and then you have to go outside, turn the generator, and it's like, you know, there's that slight, what's happening, what's out there in the dark, something is about to get you. But really, everything is binary, you know, ones and twos. Light cannot exist without the dark. So we can't just take the love and light and the good aspects and just stay there and pretend like the dark doesn't exist. Or we try to make everything all prim and proper, make everything look nice and fancy, you know, try to package it all up, looking all fantastic. No, there is a dark side to everything, and it is in that darkness, most times, we find our voice. You see, because the darkness represents the pain, the fear, the depression, the stress, the anxiety, the confusion. But it is in all of these things that we build the strength, right, to allow our light to shine. So it's not for us to be afraid of the dark or not be powerful enough to challenge the dark. It's to acknowledge the fact that, okay, there's a blockage somewhere. There's this fear holding me back. What is it? And to ask questions. So one day, while I was in the shower, contemplating on the darkness and shadows, it just occurred to me that it is the fear of the unknown that stops us from moving forward. Because you're in the dark, you can't see, so you don't know what's happening there. You don't know what you're going to encounter. You don't know what you're going to hear or see or how you're going to engage with those entities or those structures, those people, those ideas. You're not sure how your interaction will be. And so instead of venturing out and instead of being brave enough to go into that darkness, we're like, no, let me just stay in my comfort zone because I've created some form of light here and it's so nice and comfortable. You know, we have dreams and then you get a job that you're supposed to be there for only 2 years old, and then, you know, it gets comfortable because the money is coming in every month and, you know, you can afford some things and, you know, it's looking like, let me just be here and let me just be comfortable. I was talking to my friend the other day about him starting a business and he said, you know, business is really risky, you know, it's really risky. Maybe I should just get a job. But life is risky. You can enter your car and some mad truck just smashes you to bits and pieces and you die. Or you can be driving in a car and a tree falls on the car and boom, you're dead. Or you're going on the bridge and then your tire flies off and then you go over the bridge, you drown and you're dead. Or, you know, your building can just collapse and you're squashed to death. Life, breathing in and breathing out is risky because you can breathe in the wrong shit and boom, you're gone. So why not take the risk and go on a journey to discovering yourself? If it is risky, it's about you. So it means that we have the power to manage the risk and make the best out of the risk. So it occurred to me that in the darkness is where all the possibilities lie. It's a land of the unknown, but the unknown is the opportunity because you don't know the form and shape, the color, the smell of the opportunity. That's why it's called opportunity. Opportunity knocks all the time, but it's only the prepared who take advantage of the opportunity. But it is there. The only thing stopping us most times from taking advantage of the opportunities is our fear of the unknown. So when you demystify this unknown something and you realize that the unknown means opportunity, the unknown means possibility, that way you become more excited to venture out, because you know that if I turn left, if I turn right, there's something for me to grab hold of and make the best out of, because that is who we are. We take nothing and make something from nothing, like God. And that is who we are. That's the power we have. That's our ability. So the more we begin to dare ourselves, the more we begin to discover how awesomely fantastic we are, then we are challenging ourselves, we're growing, we're becoming better. So, like I said, everything is binary, ones and twos. It's how we're able to create balance between these variables, and how in the process of being balanced we are flexible. So, which is why I love my yoga practice. I mean, apart from challenging, it challenges the mind, the body and your spirit, but the end goal is balance and flexibility, to remain balanced in the midst of life and still be flexible enough to navigate through it all. That's beautiful, but it's a learning process. We'll make mistakes, we'll get hurt, we'll get bruised. Some people will say dumb shit, some people try to take our energy, but how balanced are we in this process, and how flexible are we, such that when north is showing us a closed door, we can turn west, which will open up a new door. So knowing that we have 4 options, the 4 options throw light into that land of opportunities, and that gives us access into a new way of thinking, into speaking new words, thinking new thoughts, meeting new people who have the capacity and capability to launch us levels ahead of the game. And that way we begin to take control of our lives, and life becomes beautiful. So the question is, what is your biggest fear in life? You see, I was able to identify my biggest fear in life when I was in uni, which was the fear of poverty, because poverty is a bitch. It shrinks you. It gives you a scarcity mentality even in the midst of abundance. Poverty just deprives you of the vision to acknowledge your power. It doesn't take away the power. It just blocks it, right? It puts different thoughts in the head, and we begin to think as if, all is not well. We say words that don't empower, and we speak those words to other people, and you wonder why those who have the resources to help stay out of the way of some people, because you understand the power words carry. So you just know that there's just some spaces you shouldn't be in, so that such energy doesn't rub off on you. So you're just like, no, I don't want. So you move away. So that's what poverty does. It puts you in a scarcity mentality. It takes fear and just surrounds you with it. And so you're so deep and way down into it that when somebody comes and is reaching out his hand, I want to help you, you begin to criticize, you begin to ask dumb questions. The questions that are coming out have no purpose. The questions that are coming out just seek to throw filth at the other person, So it's really sad, and I identified this. But you see, the words I was saying was, I don't want to be poor. I was saying what I don't want. And the universe gives you the words that come out of your mouth. And in my head, I was thinking, you're saying, I don't want to be poor. Your brain is registering poor, so it will be giving you poor. It will continue to give you poor circumstances, so you can continue to say the word, I don't want to be poor. You see, but when you flip the script and you start saying what you want, instead of what you don't want, you begin to get what you want. Why? Because that's what you're asking. You're demanding of yourself. This is what I want, and I want it now. Obviously, now takes the time, because on this earth plane we are bound by space and time, but we can transcend time by continuously being in that space where we are continuously empowered by what we want, which is, like I said, in the intangibles, the values. That is what is important. So I began to say to myself, I want this, I want that. And I began to write it down. Every day I say it to myself, I repeat, and I started getting what I wanted. One step at a time, because everything happens in its season. You want to go through the season and extract the most of every season so that we can grow. Grow within our power. That is what life's about. So, what are you most afraid of and why? The why you're going to ask 7 levels deep. So when you ask yourself, why am I afraid of this? You say poverty. Ask again, why? Then ask again, why? By the time you ask yourself why, you go 7 levels deep. You keep asking why 7 times. You will get to the root of the problem. And when you get to the root of your problem, that is where you find the release. And then you begin to extract all of that goodness. Why? Because you have scattered the blockage and now you can see clearly. But you have to ask yourself, what am I most afraid of and why? Challenge yourself, demand of yourself, and you will get results. It's proven. So I will see you on the next video.